Shutdown switch. 3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 348 of the Shower Podcast, the podcast where I'm in my shower and you do you. I'm your host, Chip, and this is the second of the usual couple of episodes of the weekend drop, the simpler, shorter version of the Shower Podcast, where in one episode, I try to give you a simple idea that you can carry into the weekend. Before we start, as usual, if you end up liking this episode, remember the liking and subscribing really mean a lot for me. They're just one click, but they really make the difference. Thank you very much for considering it. Unfinished tasks don't just sit on a list. They sit in your head. Psychologists have been describing this since Zeigarnik, classic work in the 1920s. Open loop sticks. More recently, E.J.'s Masicampo and Roy Baumeister showed that when people make specific plans for unfinished goals, intrusive thoughts fall and working memory frees up. Add that to Sophie's Leroy's attention residue findings. When you switch with loose ends, part of your mind stays on the last thing. And the case is clear. If you end the day mid-air with no plan to land, tomorrow morning pays the tax. A shutdown switch is 10 minutes, not an evening. It has one purpose: close what you can, contain what you can't, and leave a clear entry point for the next day. Start by scanning for any loop you can finish in under 2 minutes. A quick reply, a calendar move, a file saved to the right place. Then capture the rest in one trusted spot. The brain relaxes when it knows a loop lives somewhere it will see again. Now, set tomorrow's first move. Not work on project, but the smallest concrete action that starts the machine. Open the brief and write 3 bullet points, review the model's assumption, draft the email skeleton, you know the drill. Name the start time inside your peak energy window so the best hours meet the right task. If you want to know why, remember to watch the previous episode. Finally, place a physical cue where it can be missed. And if you feel extra extroverted, you can also say out loud, "Shutdown complete." That phrase, on paper, it's not theater. It helps mark a boundary so your mind can let go. What happens next is quiet but real. Evenings stop leaking work because the part of your brain that keeps checking on open loops has been reassured. Sleep deepens when rumination drops. Morning startup gets lighter because you're not spending the first 20 minutes recreating context or debating where to begin. And the energy you budgeted, those precious peak minutes from the other episode, arrive unspent, not squandered overnight on just one more quick look. So, here's your weekend drop challenge. Tonight, pick a moment you can repeat. It might be right after dinner or 5 minutes before you leave the desk. Do one pass for loose ends, capture what remains, choose exactly how you'll start tomorrow, and set the cue. If your mind tries to reopen that day later, remind it that the plan exists and it will see it at the time you choose. Treat the reassurance as a skill. Each time you keep the boundary, you teach your brain that the system can be trusted. That was all for today. Thank you very much for listening. If you made it so far, feel free to interact with this content in any way, shape, or form you like by liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. Whatever works for you works for me. And as usual, stay consistent, stay resilient. This was the Shower Podcast, and I'll see you tomorrow.